Hey everybody, it's Sonjdradeluxe, and today we are doing 4 looks. Also, hey sisters. Today we're going to be playing with the Sisters Collection collaboration with James Charles and Morphe brushes. We did 4 looks, okay? That's a lot. We did a lot today. And it's going to be in one video, this one. I had a lot of fun playing with this palette. Congratulations, James Charles. I think this is dope. We're gonna get into it a little bit, not in too much detail because I'm sure he has a very passionate video on how he came up with the collection. Mine's simply playing with makeup and giving a few my 2 cents, you know? So if you want to see how to get this look and others, please stay tuned. Okay, so I want to jump right into the brushes to start. There's a lot of brushes in this kit and I think it's really dope. As an artist, I like to have multiples of the brushes that I really love rather than one of every single brush that ever exists, because I know which ones I'm going to use and make the most out of. There are doubles and triples of some of the brushes you might pick up first or might use most often, so I think that's super cool. I haven't seen that in a set before, but it really makes sense. There's 34 brushes in the set, and it also has this little blending sponge, which I think is cool. I'm not going to go too in detail about what's in the collection and like swatches and stuff like that, because James Charles has already done that too in the most passionate detail. It is the Sister Collection, so I'm sure James Charles will know better than anyone else the stories behind everything. I'm here to just show you what I think based off of being a makeup artist and a consumer, and that's how I like to kind of go into reviews. Instead of reading too much about what I'm being told it is, I like to just experience it for myself, come up with my own thoughts about it. So the thing I think that's awesome is that there's multiple blending brushes in small, medium, and large. Genius. This makes me happy. These are snatching brushes, great for shaping up your eyeshadow, snatching the brows, all that good stuff. Big old sexy fluffy brush that I like to contour, highlight, everything with. 2 of these, I don't know what they could be used for. I think use them for whatever you want. 2 little skinny liner brushes like this, brow or angled. I'm just, instead of going through it all, I'm going to show you and use them, but I think that this is an amazing brush set. I love that there's multiples of things that I would actually really use, so I think this brush set is really dope, and I like that it comes with this little fella too. So usually when I'm doing a review, I like to have my skin done or whatever and focus on what I'm reviewing. So I usually say I'm going to do it off camera, but because there are brushes, I want to just experience the brushes, do my base, everything I would normally with the brush set instead of doing my base and everything off camera. I just want to hear from you guys though. Let me know what you think. If I'm saying I'm going to do something off camera, would you like me to just do it on camera but just speed through it and not talk about it? Or would you like me to just skip past that and focus on that good stuff? I've already got some moisturizer on. I'm just going to go ahead and do my base. Okay, so base is on, and now I want to get into this palette because this palette is really bomb. So it does have names, and the names are very James Charles. I think it's cool. But I feel like this is like an everything you need type of palette. I think it's super genius. And then again, making sure you have more of what you're actually going to use the most. We're going to get into a look. I'm going to do a couple looks for you. I think this palette's really exciting, and I think he did a really good job, so I'm excited. Let's just jump all the way in. I'm going to do things a little different. I'm going to use a primer, and this is the Urban Decay Caffeine Potion Primer. I never really use primers, but I thought because these colors are so cray-cray, I would. I'll just smooth it out with the M410. Then we're going to go into this really hot pink. I'm going to dust off the excess, and I'm just going to tap that on top of where we put the primer. And I'm being careful so I don't get it all over my face. Kind of rolling it right on top of the space where my eyelid is. And let's just wing it out. Always on the second side, I'm more like, whatever, I got the shape down. It's a lot quicker because I already know what I'm gonna do, but on the first side, I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna go in with the lighter pink right there and just do the inner corners a little bit. Maybe we'll sparkle it up later. We're playing around, let's see what happens. And with my finger and the hottest pink, I'm just gonna press this neon shade right up on my lid just so it's the most bold. I feel like brights look the most bright with a finger. But we already did all that blending beforehand, so it's not gonna be a hot mess. Now what? Now I'm gonna go into this darker pink here and let's just shape out that area. But I just want it to be a little bit more bold and sharp. Let's keep it simple-ish. It's already neon, for crying out loud. Getting a tiny bit of follow, but that's hella pigmented shadows for you. Just gently dust it away. And maybe that just means you have too much on your brush, which I think I might have. I'm gonna use whatever's left over on that brush when we did our little primer, and I'm just gonna cut it out, make it hella sharp. That's hella sharp. And I really love this orange color. I've never really seen anything like it, so I'm gonna try it on. And I'm just kind of tapping it on top of where my lash line is. And I'll just blend that into the other shades we worked so very hard on. And then let's just go in with our finger. And I'll just tap some of that underneath. We already blended it. If you just went in right with the finger, it'd probably go on a little chunky. Let's go into this kind of orange color right there beside the bright orange. And with the tight brush again, let's give it a little bit more body on the outer part, all the way across. And I'm just doing that on the outer third of my eye. For the very inner corners, let's go into this yellow. The yellows don't show up that much on me. I'm gonna try and put the white down first and then the yellow. Maybe I am low-key yellow. Oh yeah, that's way better. I'm gonna take the baby pink again and just tap that in the inner part of my lid, just for a little bit more dimension. Brighten it up. Maybe to give it a little bit of Johnny depth, I'm just gonna go into this one right here on the outer part. M166 brush right here. I don't really want it to take away from the neon, so I'm just doing a super light line. We're doing a few looks, so I'm gonna do a quick mascara and lash, and then we'll move on to the next look. I'm just gonna throw on the Brasserie Kiss lashes. For lips, I want to keep it kind of simple, so I'm gonna do, I always do, let's be real. I'm gonna use the Hush Hush Plump Lip Liner by BUXOM. It's like a lipstick and a lip liner together. And then I'm gonna take the Gold Allure Pat McGrath lip gloss. That's all she wrote for that look. Okay, so here's the first look. I'm gonna take this off and we're finna do a second look, okay? I had to change my sweater because the hood pushing it up into a bubble plus this headband pushing it up into a bubble is not what's hot on the streets right now, so putting this on. I wore it in another video, that's okay. People wear shorts more than once. It's okay. Let's move into the second look. Let's start with some primer again. Why not? Okay. This is like my skin color, so that's good. And this is the Caffeine Primer Potion from Urban Decay again. I'm gonna start with this neutral shade right here. And I'm just gonna put that into the crease. It's pretty much my skin color, just a little deeper, which is good because we're gonna do another bright colored look, and this will be a really good transition shade so that it doesn't get all chunky and funky when we try to go in with a bright color. I think this blue color is really pretty, so let's dip into that fella. Tap off that excess, and I'm gonna do that right in the crease. I put the color on one side and I'm gonna flip it so that just the tip of it goes into the crease. Cute, I guess. I don't know yet. We haven't done anything. Keep it a little bit more round. We'll see. I'm gonna intend to keep it more round, and I'm just kind of going right above where my crease is. Before we stopped right into the crease with the pink, and now we're going right above. So I'm letting the blank side of the brush kind of go on top of my eyeball. I'll just layer it to make it look more intense. And that gives you like a nice little fine tip rather than going on with this side. It could probably get a little messy trying to do this type of shape. Yeah, now it's getting angled again. I knew it. Some people look really great with the rounded type of eyes. I do makeup by feeling, and the feeling of my shape is I don't have a huge eyelid, even though I have a lot of space. My eyelid's pretty small, so trying to make it round, it can look a little cray-cray pretty fast. And that blended in real nice because of the work we did with that transition shade. The primer again. And this time, instead of winging it out, I'm trying to keep it rounded, but for my eye shape. I will set that now with the white. See the finger? So it's real bright. So first swipe, I'm just kind of absorbing any uneven wet patches from the primer and then going in with finger to press that white in, which is called flashback, which is hilarious because of his famous meme that he actually recreated into a tutorial too, which I think is also hilarious and awesome. Okay, so that's what we've done. Where we go from here, not sure. Maybe for this look, we'll use some eyeliner. I'm gonna go into this darker blue shade right here, a little on the outer edge of my eye, as kind of a guideline. So I'm going to take my Ciate London stamp liner and let's just hope for the best. I wish I didn't have coffee before this because I'm jittery a little bit. Gonna give us a little bit of a mod look, I guess. And I always like to kind of start with my wing and then drag it into the center. Seems to work out for me well. And then just kind of smooth out the mistakes. I'm better at correcting than just trying to get it perfect the first time. So let's take that brush we used in the first look again and just clean up our line. No one needs to know. And I think I'm going to take a little bit more of that white to use as a base for the inner corner. Next step, this one. And I'm just going to draw a line right underneath where my lash line is. I'm going to pull it into the center, almost like a bottom liner. And I'll just wing it out a little bit on the bottom. Hopefully that will look cute later. Let's take the neon green. I'm going to blend it out. Maybe this needs a finger too. Okay. And I'm trying my very best to get it real close to that dark line we just did with a big old finger. I'm gonna brighten up the blue with my finger too. Let's fill our waterline with this Marc Jacobs Deja Blue. And I'm gonna put that in the waterline. Should have done this as the last look because it's gonna be hard to take this out. Just do a little on the outer part here too. I'm just gonna draw a line in the inner corner here too, just so it's more bright. And I'm filling in that empty space that we left earlier. Interesting. Weird stuff like this is why I like to freestyle all the time, because I would have never planned something like this. But doing it by feeling and just seeing what you come up with is kind of fun and also quite anxiety-ish. I feel like a fish, blub blub. I kind of like that the gel's on my lashes on my bottom. I might leave it like that. I literally don't think there's anything more we should or could do to this. So I'm gonna put some lashes on. I'm gonna use the same ones as before too. Same thing, let's keep it simple. I'm gonna use the same BUXOM lip pencil in Hush Hush again. And I'm just gonna take a dab on my concealer, like the smallest dab. Put that in the center. Look 2 complete. So there's look 2. Wow, it went left and then it took a right and then did a U-turn. And here we are. I'm gonna take this off and we're about to do look 3. Bitch. Look number 3, let's get it. Let's do some perp. We're gonna do perp, but I'm gonna go into this orange color we used earlier. And this is going to be a transition color, I just decided. I didn't put the base on, I forgot. But that's okay, we could probably put it on after if we choose to do so. But I'm just putting that orange all in the crease. Matches my shirt. This one I don't think needs to be so complicated because that last one was kind of all over the place. And it's still in my eyes. But we're moving along because we got work to do today. Let's put that underneath too. We haven't used this little brush yet, so I'm going to use the Morphe M152. I'm not going to put the base. I'm just going to go freestyle on them. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, we're using this purple color. I wish I used the base, but we didn't. That's gonna just go all over the lid. I'm going to press the color on all over. I feel like it sticks better when I do it with my finger, but that's just me. I'm gonna go into the darkest purpley shade right here, and I'm gonna use it almost like a liner on the outer V of my eye, and I'll let that kind of blend into the orange we just did. The lighter purple again, I'm gonna go right on my lash line. And then I'll take the darker purple color we used earlier and just pull out the bottom part of my eye, create a new shape. I'm gonna go in with that first hot pink again to put into the crease just to help it blend into the orange a little bit better. I'm gonna use my finger and this shade here, a little bit of that shimmer over top so it looks a little bit more dazzly, like a little purple sunset. And for the very inner corner of the eyes, let's do the pink here. I'm gonna go in with the darkest purple here. It's like a black and purple. And just exaggerate all the shapes that we put in so it's not so flat. Right on the top here, almost like a liner. Yo, my skin on my eyes is just about had enough. And lashes, and I'm just gonna keep using the same ones because I'm trying to keep it simple. And they've been doing me well every look, so. Let's just keep going with the same lips. A little bit of gloss. Okay, wow, look 3 complete. We're moving on to look 4. Say a prayer for my skin and my eye skin because it's just about hot enough. We're doing it today. And finally, it's time for our last look. I had to redo my foundation after all that. It was getting a little crazy looking and making my eyeshadow patchy. So, more of a neutral look. How about that? All of these are pretty warm, so I think I'm going to start with this guy again. Right on the crease. Last but not least, look. That's just going to help to absorb any oils. And then we're going to go into this cute little fella right here. Same technique, doing the shadow on one side and keeping the bare side of my brush on my eyelid. It's all carryover looks, you know? You learned something from one look, you could use it for the next one. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a look that I like to do when I kind of go out, when I want to be a little ratchet, but still look cute, you know? I'm going to take this small brush, M124. Let's go into this brown shade here, and I'm going to use this as if I'm doing a eyeliner, and I'll wing it out. And this is just kind of like a base because we're still got other stuff to do here. And we're just kind of creating like a wing shadow, almost like a liner. I feel like sometimes if I'm gonna go out and I have to be out soon, doing a liner is sometimes too big of a risk to get perfect. Unless you got all damn day, and I like to do it with shadows because they're much more forgiving for when you want to do corrections and stuff like that. I'm gonna use this brown in the corner here, and we'll use one of the little blending brushes. And I'm just gonna hook that in from that area into the darker brown we did. Wow, that's darker than I had thought, but that's okay. Maybe we'll just roll with this. It's kind of cute. And I'm just pushing right into my crease so that I get the perfect place to contour on both sides. Into the black, and you know that's black when you can barely even see it in the palette. I'm gonna be gentle with this just in case, so there's no surprises. And I'll line the bottom. And I'm just gonna blend it up into the brown so it's kind of like ombre and nice and sharp, but without having too much black in there. And I'm also gonna take a little bit of the black and just go on the outer part of my lash line so it's nice and smoky. Just tight up against the lash line because we already put that brown there, and like, let's not counterproductive. I'm gonna take that small brush again and that brown, go just on the outer lower part of my lash line. And I'm not using the black because I don't want it to look like an eyeliner. I just wanted to smoke it so my lashes look a little bit longer there. For the lid, I think I'm gonna try this pale yellow color. Haven't used it yet. And I'm gonna use it to just lightly fill that empty space we created. And with that little brush we've been kind of snatching everything with, I'm just gonna clean up underneath a little bit with very, very, very little foundation. And it looks like we kind of got ourselves a little bit of an eyeliner, but it's just shadow. And I'm gonna do that in the inner corners of my eyes too, just to brighten it up a little bit. I'm only going halfway. And I'm just gonna give the outer parts a little bit of a blend again. I'm gonna go in with this gold color here, and I'll just tap that on the inner corner, lower half. Mascara time, and we're gonna use the same lashes. I'm gonna do a little something different for lips. This time, I'm gonna go in with MAC Cherry Lip Pencil by MAC. Name's so nice, I said it twice. Trying to be very careful. Fill it in my lips on the outer part. Instead of trying to use the very tip, which can be quite shaky, I kind of slant it and let the whole thing drag across my lips. Rather than just doing that, which is a hot mess. If I can put some weight on it and drag it, then it's easier for me to make it smooth. And for the center, I'm gonna use my MAC lipstick, and I'm very excited to say that it's now available in all of North America. So if you live in the States or anywhere in North America, it's now available, not just Canada. So let's celebrate with some lipsticks. Wow, I'm pretty sure I did that whole thing with my lip covered. Okie dokie. Okay, wow, we did it. 4 looks, 1 video, 1 palette, 1 brush kit, and some other little things on the side. Congratulations, James Charles. This is really dope. I think the palette is super cute and it's unleash your inner artist, and I feel like we did that today. I had so much fun creating some looks. And I think the brush set's awesome. Whether you're a fan or not, I feel like the Sisters collection is definitely a cop. I really like it and I think it might be my new travel palette. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, follow, love yourself, stay pretty, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Take care.